Hey everybody, today on my anime top 5, I'm going to talk about my top 5 worst characters. You know, I've seen my fair share of irritating, annoying, and frustrating characters in fiction. Like Jar Jar Binks from Star Wars, Tidus from Final Fantasy X, Barney, the lovable dinosaur. Oh yeah, that purple freak actually freaks me out! Or how about every single character from all those Fast and Furious movies? But even in anime, there are characters that actually made me want to hang myself for pissing me off. And please note, there will probably be spoilers, less compassion, and believe me, it ain't gonna be pretty. Number 5 goes to Ninja from Afro Samurai. Ninja is the imaginary sidekick of Afro Samurai, who seeks revenge for his father's death and trying to find the killer that did it. In one of my reviews, I told everybody that to me, this character was the Jar Jar Binks of anime. Why? Because he won't shut the hell up! Now, this character is supposed to represent Afro's thoughts. But who wants to hear the thoughts of a major badass from an irritating sidekick? I know I wouldn't, especially the fact that this character is voiced by Samuel L. Jackson. Now don't get me wrong, I like Samuel. But he should have known when he was pulling a Jar Jar on us, especially when it comes to the films that he's been through. Although to be fair, Ninja wasn't annoying in the sequel Afro Samurai Resurrection. But in the first movie, I just want to staple his lips. So as bad as the character was, is Afro Samurai worth watching? Well, yes. Even with the annoying Ninja, Afro Samurai is one of those good old-fashioned samurai revenge tales, which I am a total sucker for. It's totally worth watching for ultra-violence, and if you love Samuel L. Jackson. Number 4 goes to Major Motoko Kusanagi from the Ghost in the Shell film. Okay, before all you Ghost in the Shell fans totally freak out, I just want you to know that I do love the Major in the TV series. But in the film, I just can't stand her! Every time she talks all about this philosophical and technological mumbo-jumbo that I don't even understand! It keeps shoving question marks into my brain! Seriously, who talks like her? Probably the most intelligent human being will understand her, but I know I can't. And the other thing that pisses me off is that corpse-like expression on her face. Now don't get me wrong, I mean, I believe that beauty comes from within, but does she have to give that expression on her face every time you see her? It practically screams, I should bury this character alive. Anyway, is Ghost in the Shell film worth watching even for this character? Well, yes. I still think the film is still intriguing, even with that corpse-like expression on her face that makes me want to slap her. But to be fair, the only thing that was cool about Motoko in that film was the action scenes. That was totally worth it. Number 3 goes to Shinji Ikari from Neon Genesis Evangelion. Now, I mostly hate this character from the TV series and End of Evangelion. I thought he was okay in the rebuild films. In the TV series, he starts out as this wimpy high school kid summoned by his father to pilot a robot to take on these mysterious beings called angels. In the first half of the TV series, it's pretty much a boy-to-man story, but around the second half, he ends up becoming a man and turns into a whiny little bitch bag, with a non-robot battling ending to go with the TV series. Which to me is a big disappointment. But the biggest disappointment comes from the End of Evangelion movie. You see, in the film, Nerve, the company that Shinji works for and his father works for, gets attacked by this other company called Seal. And what does Shinji do in this situation? He mopes, he whines, he bitches about his screwed up life. Boo-hoo-hoo! I mean, this guy has a giant robot at his disposal. Why doesn't he just use it to kill those bastards? What a moron. But that's not even the worst part. The worst part is that once he gets into his robot, EVA Unit 1, what does he do? He kills the whole planet so that he and Asuka can be the Adam and Eve of the new dead planet. Our hero, folks, destroying humanity so that he can get to third base with a girl that he jacked off to while she was unconscious. Ew. To me, Shinji is less of a man and it makes you want to be a man. So, is the Evangelion franchise worth watching for this particular character? Well, I still think the TV series is a great show, even though it has one of the most disappointing endings that I've ever seen in my life. And the movie End of Evangelion is just depressing. And the rebuild films to me were probably the best thing to come out of this franchise. But trust me, if the rebuild films go into the same direction as End of Evangelion, I am taking my EVA DVDs and shoving up Hideaki Anno's ass! Number 2 goes to Yuki Cross from Vampire Knight. And I could slap this lady in the face constantly every time I look at her. Now, in my review of Vampire Knight, I told all of you that this character is a dumbass. But the thing is, I forgot to tell you why. You see, she is supposed to be a guardian. She is supposed to protect the day class students from the night class students because the night class students are actually vampires. But guess what? She couldn't protect herself! Not only does she get bitten by vampires, she is constantly saved by other people, which makes her a dumbass in distress. Not only that, she's constantly boasting about Kaname the vampire and how he saved her life and how she is madly in love with him. Not only that, she constantly boasts about her brother on how he's constantly tortured. Every time she talks about these scenes, I actually want to stab myself in the brain. And how much I just want her to shut the hell up. So, is Vampire Knight worth watching for this particular character? Hell no! Now I know I gave it 2 out of 5 from my previous review, but guess what? I totally take it back. It gets a 1 out of 5. And that also goes with the sequel, Vampire Knight Guilty. Both these animes actually frustrate me to the point that almost reach Green on my Buddha levels. And you guys know how much I felt about on my Buddha and Green. This anime just sucks. No pun intended. And my number 1 worst character, or characters as I like to put it, are the Baka Trio from Green. These guys are the worst representations of males that I've ever seen in my life. They are perverts to the extreme. These guys actually make normal perverts look like saints. You see, they live in this school in the hills where it's an all-boys school, and when their school decides to have girls stay there over there for a month, that's where the shit hits the fan. Like this one guy places bananas on his groin and he gives all the bananas to the girls. And then there's this other guy who eats rice just sitting next to these women like a freak of nature. And then this one other guy wears all these crazy ass items thinking that the smells will actually attract the women. There was even a point where the characters even dressed up like women so that they can understand them. Oh my god! I feel like my brain is being violated every time they do all these stupid antics. These guys seriously need help on how to treat women. Either that or send them to jail for the atrocities that they have done. Or even better, public execution! I would pay money for that! I mean, to me, doing all those things is practically better than watching Green, which to me is a piece of shit. It deserves to be in hell. And if any of you actually like this anime, I am going to kill you. So, that was my top 5 worst characters in an anime. And if there's any character here that you want to tell me that you want to push off a cliff, please, tell me. Get out of here, I'm out of here.